If you are having trouble understanding fat loss and muscle gain, this simple video is for you. The question was, it was asking me if your body burns fat to build muscle, and where you build it from doesn't matter. Where you're building muscle to pick where the fat is burned from. And first of all, thank you so much for asking the question. Super appreciative of it. It means a lot to me, so thank you. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them down in the comment section or hit me up online. So this is broken down to a couple different things. We're going to talk about fat and body fat. Then we're going to talk about muscle and how it all ties together. So the first thing is that, so fat, when you hear it, you might think about the jiggling in your arms or your stomach or your butt or whatever, but you also might think about the food that you eat too. And there's two different types. There's a lot of different fats, but for the sake of this video, we're going to talk about two fats. So dietary fat, which is the fat that you actually eat, and then body fat, which is the fat that's actually on your body that most people are trying to get rid of. So the dietary fat that we eat is super important because it helps us, create a lot of our hormones. It can be used for energy if you're in ketosis. It helps break down certain vitamins and minerals that we eat. So that fat is super important. Now, fat is one of the 3 macronutrients, so protein, carbohydrates, and fat. And fat is the densest out of all of them. So carbs are worth 4 calories per gram, and protein is worth 4 calories per gram, but fat is worth 9 calories per gram. And that's one of the biggest things that I think fat gets like a lot of bad press for, is because it is worth more. So let's say you had the same amount of different things, one being a gram of carbs, one being a gram of protein, one being a gram of fat. That fat, even though it's a gram as well, is worth 9 calories as opposed to 4 as the other two. Now, just having more fat in your diet can lead to more body fat because it's worth more each calorie that you eat. But just because you eat fat won't mean you gain more body fat. So if you ate more protein than your body needed at that moment, you could still put on more body fat. If you had more carbohydrates, you could still put on more body fat. So it's not just the fat itself that is the issue, but the calorie surplus that leads to you getting more body fat onto your body. And that's one thing that just kind of keep you in mind, keep yourself ready for. Now, the next thing is the body fat. Now, the body fat we're going to be talking about is the body fat underneath your skin. So, the things that jiggle, make your shirt tighter than you need to be, your pants. Humans have had the same body for, generations of years, but we haven't always had access to fast food or supermarkets, a lot of things that we have now that keep food coming into our bodies. So, you could have had a famine back in the day, and having that fat on your body kept you alive. So body fat has been so crucial for humans' existence that it's hard to get rid of because it has literally kept people alive for generations and generations. So the way to get rid of that body fat is to be in a caloric deficit. And basically what that means is you're going to be burning more calories than your body's eating. You can't really pick where your body loses fat from directly. You can't say, okay, I want to lose it for my legs, for my arms, for my stomach, and for my chin. Your body, based on your genetics, chooses it how it wants to. So it might cycle through couple different phases depending on what you're doing and where you're going. But as far as okay, I'm going to just do legs and I'm going to lose all the fat in my legs first, it won't work that way. So your body might still might pick your neck first or your stomach or your arms, even if you're only training legs. So just so you know that the fat that you lose is a little more prone to who you are genetically than it is what you just do training wise. So that's why you have to train your entire body so that everything kind of goes off in its own progression, so that you can lose the weight where you want to lose it without having to worry about what spot you want to pick for the weight to be gone. So let's say you need 2,000 calories to keep your body functioning for the day, but you only ate 1,500 calories, so that's going to be a 500 calorie difference, okay? So the reason that body fat's on your body is that when you're in that deficit, and the reason you want to be in that deficit is because it's going to have your body use the body fat that's on you for the energy to make up for the rest of it. So think about that body fat that you have on you as almost like backup generators. So the same way a city would have a backup generator for power. If power went out, if the food power went out, your body keeps extra generators on you as far as body fat to keep you going for when you don't have that food. So being in that calorie deficit will have your body use those generators that you have in your body to actually, use them. 'Cause a lot of time people are just eating so much that your body doesn't have to use them. So you just keep putting up and stacking up more and 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 more fat on your body, more and more generators. But if you never put your body in a situation where it has to use generators, you're just going to keep going and going up. Next thing we're going to talk about is muscle. Now, muscle's a little different because muscle needs to be built. There's a certain level of muscle your body's going to have automatically, but past that point to where most people want to be, like that lean, defined look that most people want, that tone and tight, it's going to take a certain level of muscle building that you're going to have to train for. And if the generators are the fat, muscle is almost like building like a building or like a skyscraper, in a sense that you're going to have to do a little bit more blueprinting and schematics for it, because you're going to have to figure out how you're training for it and what type of training you're doing, whether it be power, strength, endurance, hypertrophy. But that's another video. We can get into that. But as far as how you want to look aesthetically with your body and what you're training, if you're trying to get the muscle bigger, if you're trying to get it faster, trying to get more explosive, it's going to take different types of training, which you're going to end up training for. So it's not exactly the same thing. So your body doesn't burn fat to build muscle, but when your body needs to do something with a muscle, like shoot a basketball or run a mile or whatever you're doing, the fat that you have inside that, your fat storage and your generator, can be used for that. But the fat itself is not going to help build the muscle directly. Like it's not going to be the same materials to take out a fat to build the muscle. The fat in your body is not directly used to build the muscle, but the fat can be burned to help the muscle do what muscle is tending to do, whether that be shoot a basketball, run a race, swim. Using the extra fat you have on your body as extra energy can help do the things that the muscle needs to do. But the muscle itself is not going to be built from the fat. And that brings me into the next thing. So you're going to need, in order to build muscle, you're going to need more calories than you would eat normally, because you're adding something new onto your body. So let's say you still need that 2,000 calories normally. You're going to need like a 2,300 or 2,400 to build that muscle, because you're going to have to add new things onto your body, add new food, add new material into your body to build that muscle skyscraper for you. So trying to lose weight and trying to build muscle are kind of two sides on opposite sides of the coin. People that have been training for years at a time can kind of do a good amount of both together. But for most people watching, if you're watching this video, you need to definitely do them separate as possible. Now, I'd probably break them up into 4 to 6, 8-week cycles, depending on who you are, what you're doing. But if you want like a time frame of how to think about it mentally, you want to put at least 6 weeks of me. Okay, I'm going to focus on losing fat here. I'm hitting my goal. I'm going to lose 6 to 12 pounds during this cycle. And then after those 6 weeks are done, I'll switch to my next part where I'll eat more and lift more and train differently. So to answer your question, fat loss isn't directly what causes your muscle to grow. So the burning of the fat, the burning of the fat on your body does not directly cause your muscles to grow. But the energy that is used from taking that fat loss generator will help your muscle perform and what your muscle's doing to grow. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you. If you have any other questions, feel free to comment below, or you can hit me up on Instagram or Twitter at DomJacksonFit. Really appreciate it. And if you have any other questions, thank you for watching. Happy Wednesday, and take care.